Okay, here we are with more beer reviews. Tonight we are reviewing the Irish Beer Collection. Voila, it's essentially a taster's pack released by Guinness, I think. Either Guinness or by someone else through Guinness or whatever. Four of their beers, 2 of each, so you get 8 in the pack. They all come in cans, unfortunately, but that's just something you'll have to live with. They're still very decent coming out of the cans, thanks to the little nitro widgets that they have in them that help produce a creamy head, more like pub style, right off the tap. Okay, the first one we're starting with is Guinness, as you can see. I already poured it and have tasted it. I was starting this review beforehand, and I poured it, and I found it was taking far too long, essentially, for me to get the entire review in and wait for it to settle properly. So I restarted the review here. If you are familiar with Guinness, you'll know it has one of the most exciting features about it. One of the most interesting things about it is to actually sit there for the full minute or two and watch the thing settle after you've poured it. The head, even now you can still sort of see it, is fairly straight right across, and it stays for quite a while. It's essentially the perfect head on a beer that you're ever going to get. Okay, so Guinness Draught, 4.2%. You know, pretty much typical for darker stouts and things like that. They're not extra high in alcohol. You know, you don't really want that alcohol taste to creep in and ruin the actual complexities of the beers. So, as you can see, most people think it is pitch black. Okay, it's a common misconception. It's actually a dark ruby red in color, believe it or not. I was even surprised when I read it, but if you actually do hold it up to the light, if you look down at the bottom of the glass where you can actually see some light creep in, you actually can see a very dark ruby red tinge. So I guess they're right and I was wrong. Whatever, I don't care. So we're gonna take it here and smell it. Yeah, there's definitely an aroma of sort of coffee, roasted malts, of course, hints of chocolate maybe, very creamy, sweet aroma, very, very nice, very inviting. So I'm going to take a sip of it now. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, very Guinness is a very sort of dry, sort of bitter, but at the same time very creamy. A lot of people have a hard time getting used to Guinness. It has a very unique taste, even for stouts. It's definitely an acquired taste, I'll give him that. Some people say it's like drinking a meal, and that's true. It's very a dense, very thick kind of beer. You definitely can fill yourself up quickly after having a couple of them. And this is definitely a beer you probably don't want to drink a ton of in a row. Like, you'll want 2 or 3 in a pub, have a good night, and then drink something lighter afterwards. But for instance, my best friend, who actually got me this glass by stealing it from a pub, thank you very much, he once had too many in a row and got sick and vomited. And he told me that vomiting Guinness is probably one of the worst things you'll never want to experience in your life, and I'll take his word for it. But anyway, yeah, Guinness, it's absolutely beautiful. When I first had it as a teenager, it was the beer that introduced me to dark, complex beers that really got me going in the direction of seeking out new beers and getting interested in beers for more of a standpoint of, I wouldn't say connoisseur, but you know, I wanted to be more familiar. I wanted to explore and experiment thanks to Guinness. I wanted to actually put down the cheap generic shit that you can buy and look for quality beers. And Guinness is definitely a quality beer. It's one of the best beers in the world. I'd say it's probably the best stout in the world. I've had a lot of stouts, and Guinness still topples them all as far as I'm concerned. So you'll not be surprised for me to say that this is definitely a solid 5 out of 5. Guinness is really one of the best beers in the world. It's in the top 10. It's probably in just about everybody's top 10 list. And there's a reason for it, because Guinness is a classic. If you haven't had it, try it. Give it a chance. It'll grow on you, and I think you'll fall in love with it like I have. Okay?